Wow, there's a lot of stuff here.
Wow, this is very serious. Road to the sky. So it says there 46-mile-an-hour wind, visibility 50 feet, and temperature 55 degrees.
Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit.
Oh yeah. Yay, cryptic. Hello and welcome to Mount Washington in New Hampshire. Yeah, this is an incredible place. We're used to big mountains in Colorado, but there's something very interesting about Mount Washington. And coming up next, you're going to find out the connection between Mount Washington, New Hampshire, and Colorado. Now what you see behind me is very interesting because it is a steam-powered Cog Railway that comes all the way up the hill. Now this started back in 1869. This baby really represented the very top of technological prowess. It's also really cool looking, right?
What year is this engine?
1908.
1908?
But it's been rebuilt many times, so none of the original parts are still here.
I see. How long does a trip take?
It's about a 2.5 hour round trip.
Okay.
Maybe a little more. About an hour to get up here. We stay here for an hour and maybe 3/4 of an hour to go back down.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
As it's been said before, 231 miles per hour, one of the fastest recorded winds in history up here. And you might notice that this particular building, which is now a gift shop, is chained to the ground. I kid you not. Here's the interesting part with the history of Mount Washington and the history of a certain hotel in Colorado.
Yep.
And this is the connection. Back in 1899, there was a guy named Stanley who had this little horseless carriage powered by steam. He brought it here to climb the hill. Before then, they were using horse-drawn carriages to go up and down the hill, and they were using the Cog Railway. But nobody had used a car. He was the first. He came up here, all the way up here in his little Stanley steamer, making history, being the first automobile to do so, but also creating an interesting connection. And the connection is this. In the backyard of TFL, our office is in Boulder, Colorado, well, there is a hotel in Estes Park called Stanley Hotel. Stanley steamer, well, they actually have a couple in the lobby, or at least one. And the reason why is the Stanley brothers, twin brothers, founded that hotel.
Yep.
So there's the connection. Stanley Hotel out there. Stanley steamer was the first automobile to make it up this hill, Mount Washington in New Hampshire. Alright guys, so we found a little place not too far away from Mount Washington, but what we wanted to do is we didn't want you to have to pay to actually go all the way up there, so this is really close to the entrance area. And look at this. New Hampshire. When you find this, there's a card inside the box right here. So please contact that email address with the selfie of you and the belt buckle. And I'm glad we chose this location because it's not busy at all. Here we go. It's going right in here. Just that simple. Well, we're going to cover it up with a couple things. That's what makes this peak so interesting. 5 minutes later, it could be sunshine with clouds below you. 5 minutes later, you could have wind or even snow. It's an incredible environment, and it's one that you really need to come up and see. I got to tell you, out of all the mountains we visited so far, this is one of my favorites because it has many elements for people who enjoy geology, botany, anybody who's really into steam engines
Weather.
or the weather. I
Yes.
mean, you've got all these things. This is also part of the Appalachian Trail goes through here, and this is part of the presidential range. So there's other mountains with names, and I think eventually, once Roman runs for office, we'll have a Mount Roman. It'll be kind of small. It'll be like 3,000 feet, I think. But
Yeah, they have some minerals here and mica. So somewhere
there's mica, actually,
Yes,
yeah. So we enjoyed that part too. So yeah, fantastic mountain, real history, and a connection to Colorado.